By God's grace, by God's grace, she'll watch all of you leave this house one by one. By God's grace. How many of you remember those words? Huh? I'm asking you, how many of us remember those words? By God's grace, she'll watch all of you leave this house one by one. Congratulations to Illebaye, Princess Ordinaya, for winning the All-Star season of Big Brother Niger. I'm really excited for her. But I want to talk about this from an angle that a lot of bloggers aren't really looking at. Her win has been called a pity win or a win that came from pity votes. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to put it to you that this was not a pity win. This was not a pity win, no. This was the underdog coming out on top. Illebaye was an underdog who had a destiny helper in that house. In fact, she had multiple destiny helpers. But the one destiny helper I want to speak about today is Doyin David. Illebaye's destiny helper, Doyin David. This scene, a lot happened in that house. A lot happened in that house. Illebaye herself is not a perfect human being. She's not innocent. There were things she did in that house which she should not have done. There were things that happened in that house which, made her look somehow, right? But today I want to put it to you. This is my prayer for you that may we all be blessed with friends like Doyin David in our lives. Like Biggie said to Doyin in one of her Irish sessions, we all need a Doyin in our lives, right? Now let's take it back. Let's take it back to just before Illebaye got a strike. Just before Illebaye got a strike, you remember the way those housemates were looking down on Illebaye. First of all, she was the youngest in the house. She wasn't as rich as the others. She wasn't as well known as the others. So they didn't rate her. They basically looked down on this girl. Doyin was the only person in that house who saw Illebaye as a human being. Doyin was the only person who saw Illebaye's potential, basically, right? And she supported. And Doyin is the type of person who will fight for what's right. Doyin is the type of person who will stand up for what's right, regardless of who's against her. And this is why we love her. This is why we love her, right? Doyin set Illebaye up to win this Bbnaija Allstars season. I'm telling you, she did. If you will go back, analyze everything that happened. Had Illebaye not had somebody like Doyin in that house, maybe she may have won because of what Ike did, trashing her clothes and all of that. However, it is my belief that after everything happened with the trashing of clothes and after everything that Doyin went through to defend Illebaye, this is when we started now seeing the bullies in the house come out. This is when the bullying really became worse in the house. Everybody coming for Illebaye and Doyin having to stand and fight for Illebaye. Doyin taking slack. Doyin taking all those, I don't want to use the word bullets, but Doyin basically took a lot of bullets, especially from that Venita of a woman, right? Because you remember Venita saying, this is why this broke bitch thinks she can try me. Who the hell is she? How much money does she have in her bank account? I'm like, Venita, girl. So you mean to tell me that just because you have a little money in your bank account, you have a right to bully people? You have a right to bully people. You have a right to make people's lives miserable in this house. Because we all saw what Doyin went through after defending Illebaye. After standing up for Illebaye when her clothes were trashed, nobody else was willing to take it to that level. They all knew what Ike had done was wrong, but nobody was willing to take it to that level that Doyin took it to. And by what Doyin did, she set her up to say, listen, these people did what they did, but I'm not going to speak behind them. I'm not going to go behind their backs to say, oh, but that was wrong. They shouldn't have done that. I'm going to say it to their faces. Doyin said it to their faces that what you did was messed up. What you did was wrong. And that earned her a lot of enemies in that house. And it earned her a lot of enemies. But what did Illebaye do? Illebaye turned around and tried to make friends with those same enemies that Doyin had because of her. Right? And so the lesson that I would like for Doyin or somebody like Doyin to take from this is, do not put your neck all the way out there for friends. Yes, it may be difficult. It may be difficult because maybe that's the type of person you are. You know, you're somebody who stands up for the truth. You're somebody who fights for what's right. Fine. All good and well. However, do not put your neck all the way out there for friendships or for other people. Because trust me, if Doyin had not done what she did for Illebaye, Illebaye probably would have been voted off that show. She probably would have. Because you remember the first before Illebaye got a strike, um, for what happened with Sisi. Sisi was interrogating Illebaye. Sisi was interrogating, and they were fighting over Doyin. But Doyin didn't want to make a big deal of this whole issue that was going on. Doyin didn't want to make a big deal of anything. Doyin wanted to just leave the whole thing, ignore the whole thing. No, leave it. We'll talk. We'll talk. Baye and I will talk about it. It's not a big deal. Leave it. Leave it. What did Cynthia do? Sissy couldn't leave it. Sissy couldn't leave it. Sissy kept poking and poking and poking until she got into an altercation with Illebaye, which is really what Sissy wanted. And that resulted in Illebaye getting strikes, right? So it's what Sissy wanted. These people, had Doyin not been there, those housemates would have succeeded in getting Illebaye out of that house. But with Doyin being there, Doyin was then able to take the bullets for Illebaye while Illebaye escaped scotch-free. Go back and analyze this. So the biggest lesson here really is, yes, we need friends like Doyin in our lives. Yes, we need people like Doyin in our lives. However, my message to people who are like Doyin out there is, have your limits. Have your limits. Have your boundaries. Have your limits. It doesn't matter how much you love people. Don't go overboard. Don't go overboard. Have your limits. Because now Doyin was voted off after being called everything but a child of God by that Venita. Every name in the book. There is nothing Venita did not call Doyin over this Illebaye issue. And when I look at these blogs, I'm like, it seems like everybody has forgotten how this whole um Venita and Doyin um what's the word I'm looking for? How their beef started, right? Seems like everybody's forgotten. Doyin had no problem with Venita, and Venita had no problem with Doyin until the Illebaye situation. So Doyin was standing up for her friend, which is how she inherited Venita as an enemy. May we all be blessed with Doyins in our lives, but may we never take advantage of them. And may the Doyins of the world realize that you need to love yourself more than you love standing up for the truth. More than you love standing up for the truth, love yourself. Love standing up for yourself and protecting your space and not going all the way for people because they will not appreciate it. You will earn a ton of enemies over it, and the other people will just slide on by. You understand? But I am truly happy for Illebaye. I'm truly happy for her. I really hope she uses the money wisely. I'm really proud of Doyin, proud of the person that she is. And yeah, I cannot wait to see what's next for them. I cannot wait to see what's next for them. But get in the comment section, tell me how you feel about this whole thing. What do you think of this season's Big Brother Naija? What were the highlights for you? We will discuss. There's something else I want to discuss. This is eviction. When Sissy was evicted, it needs a whole video of its own. But tell me what you think in the comment section, and we'll speak again. Bye.